Welcome to the Extraordinary Leadership Podcast. This is a place for you if you aspire extraordinary, fueled with inspiration, meaningful conversations, and valuable insights that are going to support your journey of becoming an extraordinary leader and making truly a difference in your organization and living a desired life. My name is Dagmara Asbreuk, and I am your host in this show, and I'm also founder and CEO of Extraordinary Leadership. I'm bringing you exceptional leaders, change makers from different industries, sharing their stories, and above all, what made them most successful, impactful, and happy. I'm also sharing my discoveries from navigating and leading 15 years in a corporate world, building my business, and empowering senior and executive leaders to go to their next level with their organizations and in their lives. I hope that you are excited and ready. So let us begin. Welcome to another episode of Extraordinary Leadership Podcast. If you follow me on LinkedIn and social media, as well as you subscribe to my newsletter, then you know that recently I'm talking about a paradigm shift in leadership and about transforming from within and embodying the extraordinary leader. And I thought this is a great moment to share with you all of that and make it more familiar for yourself of what is it actually about. And in particular, in this episode, I want to unpack what is this new paradigm of leadership that extraordinary leadership is fostering all about. Why do we need to transform from within and embody extraordinary leadership? And why is that beneficial for you and for your organization? And finally, what's really the path, the transformational path that is enabling you as a leader to be more empowered, more authentic, more empathic, and being really a positive change maker in your organization, bringing your organization to the next level, unlocking extraordinary growth and potential within your organization. Let us start with unpacking why we actually need it. You maybe have come across statistics that I will refer to here, such as Gallup statistics telling or helping us to understand that 15%, only 15% of people in our organizations are truly engaged on a global scale. Or that every 1 of 4 to 5th employee is facing burnout or mental health issues. And you maybe have also come across statistics of Shirzad Chamine and positive intelligence, which is saying that only 20% of individuals and teams are really truly unleashing their potential. So I believe that from this research-based information and data, you really can see that there is an opportunity, a place for more growth, for unleashing our potential, for bringing more engagement into our organizations, which at the end foster collaboration, performance, and innovation and thriving as businesses. And there's definitely more room and space for taking care about how we lead ourselves and overall our well-being, which is a fuel to performance. For us leaders, it can become very quickly overwhelming to deal with all those challenges. And on top of that, with all the pressure in business and expectations of stakeholders and shareholders, and much more complex the world outside with all the speed of change and uncertainties, as well as new generation of employees coming to our organizations with completely different values and needs. And so I truly believe that this is a time for a change. There is a time for reflection. There is a time of shift of how do we lead ourselves as leaders and how do we lead our organizations so that we can build sustainable organizations, so that we can grow ourselves to the next level, so that we can thrive as leaders and holistically in life, so that we can be more impactful and so that we can unleash this untapped potential within our organizations for far greater impact and results in business and beyond, including our own families and friends and communities. So the question is, how can we do that? On one side, is about from which place, from which state of consciousness are we actually leading, and how are we actually mastering and leading our inner world. And the second is around what mindset and what skills do we bring in leading our teams, leading our people, leading our organizations, and fostering growth, collaboration, connection, and engagement. I call it inner game and outer game. And both of them are important. However, it all starts within ourselves, with the state of consciousness we lead from, we operate from, and how we navigate that complex inner world, which directly reflect how we lead, how we show up, with energy we unleash in the system, how much we empower or not empower our people, how much we motivate and inspire, how much we care about, other people, empathic and authentic. And when we marry that, which is to 80%, making an impact in how we lead and how we live and how successful and impactful and thriving leaders we are, with the mindset and skills which are transformational to lead our organization, then we can talk about a new paradigm of leadership, which is so much more potential, so much more empowering, which is the catalyst for ourselves and for our organizations to transform. So I want to unpack both of them. So as I said, the starting point is consciousness, is from which level of consciousness we operate from. There are 4 states of consciousness that I've been already speaking about there's much more information on my website, about my blog. There in last newsletter also released even more information about that. So just to summarize here, there are 4 states of consciousness. And the way I see consciousness is basically like a lens through which we see ourselves and the world. And the higher the consciousness state, the wider is the lens. So we become more resourceful, more wiser, more awake, more enlightened, right? More empowered. And obviously the higher is the state also, we are also far more having an access to our potential. We much more in flow. We much more productive. And we create result with much more ease. And we're more inspiring as leaders. We build trust. We grow people. And that makes a huge difference. And these 4 states of consciousness pretty much determine or define how we lead ourselves and how we show up and how we lead others. They each bring a different set of paradigm, different set of beliefs, different sets of values, different sets of limitations or non-limitations. So assumptions, different sets of lens, basic, through which we see, first of all, ourselves and others. And the first 2 levels out of 4 are really, to some degree, limited. Most of the people and a lot of leaders are operating on the first 2 paradigms, and most of our organizations are still operating in this paradigm as well. Either this is a victimhood, which is about blaming, waiting, judgment, or it is about working hard, being very busy, focusing on performance only, on KPIs only, and, staying in this paradigm, staying in this vicious loop which leads at the end to burnout, which leads at the end to exhaustion, tiredness, and creating a result through, to some degree, fear, through pushing hard, through pushing ourselves to deliver. And as I said, these both states carry limitation. Because you see, we cannot create great results, tap to our potential, and be at the same time as performance, be happy and more healthy and thrive in terms of our well-being. So very often we personally are stuck in any of those 2 states, or operating between them 2, and feel like there is a glass ceiling. We can't do more. And we start to question ourselves, how can we, make a greater impact? How can we bring the results and execute on, the direction of the business with more ease? How we can create this thriving culture with more effectively? How can we, have encounter less resistance and conflict, which we may when we are leading organizational changes? And how can we be more liberated from, more lighter, more joyful, more positive? And I've been also there. Now, when we are in a contrary, operating on a higher state of consciousness, 3 and 4, it's about creating more impact, innovations with far more ease, with far more joys, with far more positivity, with far more playfulness. It's about synchronicities. It's about intuition. It's about understanding profoundly that people mirror us and we are connected. And so it's about energy and how we actually unleash the energy in a system and what energy we bring to the organization that mobilize a different response and different reaction of our people. And it's also about understanding ourselves on a much deeper level and being capable on eliciting this voice between, our mind sabotage and our so-called true self or higher self, as I like to say, coming from a higher mind. So being really not only aware that we have two parts of ourselves, but also being able to distinguish and follow and lead from a place of purpose, from a place of empowerment, from a place of trust. When you as a leader operate on that level, you are much more lighter, joyful, more in flow. You feel less stuck and overwhelmed and in negativity because you know how to manage those states much more effectively as well. You feel more liberated from something that has held you back in the past. And also, you are creating far better results and engagement and, collective results, fostering this, culture of engagement and collaboration with much more, far more ease and far more joy. So basically your company is becoming a magnet for high talent. Wouldn't you like to be leading and creating that space, first of all, for yourself and of course for all of your employees? I believe that every organization would like to be in that state. The gateway to operate on that level, to lead from that higher state of consciousness, is what I call transformation from within. There is no way we can evolve in our level of consciousness and tap to higher potential, and really create more with less and build this thriving cultures, organization, high performance, innovations, and so on without that. So transformation from within is really mandatory. And this transformation from within is starting with shifting a paradigm of doing to being. You see, the very first two states of consciousness are really very strongly related with doing mindset. So what I mean by that, classic example of it, that many of us are locked in this paradigm is I need to work hard, or I need to do a lot so that I can be successful, so that I can be abundant, so I can be, free, so that I can, be rewarded, so I can have time for my family, so I can take holidays, so I can have money. So that I am more confident, so that I'm becoming more, free, more abundant, more happy. This is a classical paradigm most of the people are still living in. And you might even be trapped currently in that paradigm. And this is one of the many classical examples of the paradigm of a lower state of consciousness. So of course, the focus here is on doing more. And yes, it can lead to success. Yes, it can lead to performance, but it is not sustainable. And it doesn't really enable you or your organization to really unlock the unlimited potential, because this potential of your individuals as well as your organization needs well-being, needs tapping to a higher state of consciousness, needs a different paradigm. A paradigm that is prioritizing being over doing. This is the driving force of a state 3 and 4 consciousness, where we first prioritize the being, our state of being, prioritizing our well-being, prioritize our state of mind, state of emotion, state of connection within ourselves, and it's something bigger than ourselves. How we are showing up every day, first of all, to ourselves, as well as to others. When we focus being, we first of all focus on creating that vision of who we want to become by connecting with our true potential, connecting with our values, and connecting with what's important to us, our authentic self. This is usually what we do first. We create that image, that vision of who do we really want to be. And when we are able to step into being that version of ourselves today, not in 10 years from now, we not only create our North Star and clarity of where we want to go and how we want to lead, how we want to show up as leaders, also reprioritizing what we're going to do. How is that version of you taking decisions? How is that version of you showing up? Where is that version of you prioritizing? You will find the differences when you go in the state of being, when you shift from doing more to first of opposing and defining who you want to become and shaping that vision of yourself. You switching automatically from doing to being. And this is when you start to define different actions, different way of organizing your time, different way of priorities, different way of showing up. And this is where you take also maybe decisions to invest more in certain areas or invest more in yourself to grow because you identify that there are some gaps in order to become that version of you that is much more powerful, much more successful, much more impactful and leading and happy, making a positive impact in your organization. And of course, you will figure out that by doing more of and being more from that space, you will have more of what you truly want. And maybe that's what you want is freedom, is peace of mind, is impact, is happiness and success. Or it's success and happiness, it's quality time, it's connection. So very first thing, we need to shift the paradigm from doing to being. This is a really critical shift that we need to embark on. And now you might want to ask yourself, how do we do that, right? How do we move from paradigm doing to being? Well, in order to evolve in consciousness, in order to shift this paradigm, we do need to transform from within. There is no other gateway. And transforming from within is a process that focuses on rewiring yourself from within. So of course, it's about understanding your paradigm, current paradigm, your beliefs, your limiting beliefs that are hidden very deeply in your subconscious. Of course, it's detecting those different patterns and triggers that have been accompanying you in life since a very early age that are holding back your success and holding back you making a bigger impact, bigger positive impact. And maybe even being more happy and being more happy. And of course, it's about releasing anything that is stored even in your body because we carry a lot of unprocessed emotions that are somewhere in our body connected with our subconscious and running on an autopilot when the trigger comes. We also need to release them. And so by doing all of that, we are evolving to more free, more trusting, more authentic, more empowered leaders. Truly, we can really unleash a positive energy in our organizations. By evolving on a higher state of consciousness, we are also learning how to manage our mind and emotions so that we can tap to a higher energy, frequency of energies, which is so much more potential and things are happening with far more ease for us. And we are in far more ease. Transforming from within is an absolute important part in this journey of shifting our paradigm from doing to being and elevating in our consciousness to more conscious, to more potential, impactful, to more empowered human beings and leaders. Mastering our emotions, mastering our world inside and connecting with the energy. And mastering with our emotions, rewiring ourselves on several levels and mastering a world of emotions, our mind, and truly evolving to that version of ourselves that we want to become. This is why I'm also so much passionate about, fostering becoming. And this is where you also hear me speaking about becoming that next level version of yourself. I put it and embody that in a word of extraordinary leaders, because becoming that next version of yourself and really being that version of and becoming that next version of yourself and taking decisions, taking actions from that space that will lead you ultimately to evolve rather than stay in a current paradigm and current stagnance. Now, that what I just described is a profound journey by itself. And, myself, I went through it and I am evolving to my next level by being on this journey since already 10 years and being passionate, dedicated, and seeing, of course, how they, positively impacted my leadership, but also growing my business, and in life, my relationships improved. My clients, seeing an enormous, profound impact that this transformation from within and embodying and becoming more that next version of themselves brings to them, and how that transformed their leadership and life. And you can hear some of their words now here.
This program changed my life, actually. Redefined beliefs, turning from judgment to curiosity. Makes your life so much easier, and you build good relationships. I achieved a lot. I did a lot. But I was never able to really say, hey, yeah, good, well done. And I was always seeking for the next one, to get validation through that. So it's a never-ending story. So really getting to the point, I'm good enough. Actually, the empathy. If you don't like yourself, you will never be able to be empathic towards others. So it helps you now also to navigate through life. And that is unbelievable, absolutely amazing. That is life fulfilling. And it gives you so much inner strength, happiness, joy, well-being. And this is what you also then reflect to everyone, to my sons, to my, my businesses.
Putting the bar too high, that was never enough for me. I started to feel a lot of negative emotions. I was holding myself back. I was pushing to myself a lot. It was only a vicious cycle. I was blaming myself. Mm-hmm. I discovered myself a lot of things that I have, the tools that I can use that I've never used it before, and the positive impact that all these tools have in my state of mind, in my body, that has helped me to read people and to read myself, plus the habits I established by they helped me. It has increased my potential and my impact tremendously.
Vision was really for me a key thing along the journey. That clarity and a structured way of identifying what is really important for me has really helped impact that decision-making process and the alignment of everything that I'm doing to the bigger self, because this was really enlightening. Disconnecting from the emotional side was more of a protection mechanism because it's uncomfortable to face emotions. I found it easier now to find these triggers within me. That has not only in a work context, but also in a private context, been quite empowering, honestly. That has helped me connect better with the people that I work with and at home, even after 20 years.
It helped me a lot. And I don't think it's really only for one part of life. So it's really an 360-degree, the quality, the speed, the framework conditions around that, the apps and the videos for the whole group in exchange with the other guys. Going, okay, I'm not the only person with having those situations. Without the program, it would be really tougher. It is something extraordinary. It's involving.
This whole inner work, we can call it, this whole inner game of shifting our consciousness, shifting from doing to being, and rewiring ourselves from the inside and becoming and evolving to more conscious leaders ourselves, is an enormously profound journey. And honestly speaking, contributes to 80% of everything, of your impact, of your success, of the degree to which you can lead effectively, and the degree to which you can be successful with the change in your organization, the degree to which you can create actually a thriving culture and connection and performance and innovation, and make your organization a freaking greatest place in the planet where people really want to work in. But I believe there is one more thing. And there's one more thing, one very important thing, one important area is also the way you communicate, the way you foster growth, ownership, and build highly performing organizations and lead change, aligning or bringing different people along the journey. And I believe that all of that depends on with mindset and skills that you come as a leader into that paradigm, into that. Now, looking back at my journey and what I do, I can clearly say that one of the most important investment for that part that I've done was to develop coaching mindset and skills. They have been transformational in a way. I showed up, I built trust, I communicated, I fostered growth and developed people, I understood people, and built much more united and collaborative teams. And this is something that I believe is a game changer together with the inner work, together with the inner game and this is, I believe, what will also make a huge difference. Coaching is beyond training, beyond mentoring, one of the most powerful enabler and catalyst of unleashing our organizational and individual potential and fostering what we really want: ownership, productivity, engagement, performance, innovation, all of that we need. Now, coaching, when I talk about coaching, I'm talking about asking powerful questions. I'm talking about listening actively, about being present, about mastering emotions and thoughts in the moment. Means also being emotional intelligent in the moment. It's also about seeing, first of all, ourselves as partners, not as hierarchical bosses in our organization. Because when we come with that mindset of partnering with our employees, we partner with them for success and we give a space to our employees so that they can actually develop and provide solution, take ownership and come with breakthrough thinking. We need to embrace the belief in our people and know that what we believe about them will define their level of success. So there are quite a lot of aspects in mindset we need to embrace in our, so that we can bring coaching into our leadership. So yes, it's about skills, but above all, it's about the mindset that we bring into how we see ourselves as leaders and what is our role in this whole. Because just think about it. If you would position yourself, if you would see yourself as a coach, as a partner, that partner with your people, helping them to be more successful and drive the goals and different objectives and different projects that at the end fuel the collective success of the organization, then would that not be a game changer for you? It's a far more effective way of leading rather than telling people what to do, rather than deciding for people. Because when we do that, we basically do not develop critical thinking in other human beings. When we do that, when we are mentors, when we are training people, we're telling people what to do. And training has its place for something. Training is essential for getting the knowledge and maybe getting awareness about processes that are important in every business and structures and who is who. Mentoring is a great for passing knowledge and sharing the experience that other experts, others that went through some challenges, some problems, some stages that have mastered something can share. But it is coaching that is going to make the change, that is going to foster ownership, that is going to help your people to develop, to think for themselves, to come up with solutions, to be proactive. It's coaching that is going to help you to understand people, help them overcome their fears and their stuckness. It's your coaching ability that is going to build connection in your organization and with people that you lead. It's your coaching ability that is going to be a powerful communicator, fostering mindful communication, reducing conflicts, and really helping your organization to work much more smoothly together, breaking those silos and collaborating as one organization towards the common goal, towards the common purpose and vision. So yes, I am an advocate of bringing coaching into leadership. And this is this other X factor I consider that is playing an instrumental role this into unleashing into our building much more successful, performance, sustainable organizations. And this is the most transformational skill that a leader and mindset that a leader can develop. It is also a part of a paradigm shift that I believe we so much need in our organizations and for us, first of all, as leaders. So coming slowly to the end in this episode, I wonder what it evoked in you. So what you can do with all of this information today? What you can do with this awareness? First of all, you can ask yourself, where am I now? Where am I in this paradigm of doing into being? Am I currently stuck in the paradigm of doing and have a difficulty to get out of my vicious circle? Am I really already in a higher vibrations, higher consciousness, thriving, smashing the goals, experiencing synchronicities, flow, high productivity? Everything comes at ease. That's maybe the first thing to start. Another thing you can ask for yourself, what is my vision of a leader? What kind of leader I want to evolve to? Who I want to be more of? Start to ask yourself these questions, because those questions will trigger you to think differently, will trigger you to take different actions, and will trigger you to show up differently. Maybe it will trigger to set boundaries. Maybe it will trigger to share something vulnerably. Maybe create more time for yourself and create a morning routine for yourself, which is so important to set yourself in the right state. And the third thing, ask yourself, how well I embody coaching into my leadership? How well do I listen actively to what persons say and what person doesn't say? How well do I master my emotions and triggers in a conversation? How well do I catch my narratives in the conversation? How many of the questions do I ask in the meeting? Am I dominating meetings with talking or rather listening? Those are some kind of clues that can give you where you are in your coaching journey, in your coaching abilities. And above all, how do I see myself? Do I see myself as a boss that have all answers and know everything and need to pass this information and impose this direction? Or do I see myself as a partner that can foster growth, co-create, collaborate, create the environment, and ask powerful questions that trigger thinking of others? So those are the first steps you can take in order to reflect of where you are in this paradigm. That will bring you the first awareness. But if you really truly want to evolve in consciousness, shift that paradigm, become that next level version of yourself, the leader who is more empowered, more positive, more authentic, more empathic, the leader who is more resourceful, the leader who is embracing coaching in its style, who fosters far better and far easier connection, collaboration, engagement, ownership, and creates together far better impact and results in business, not compromising your well-being and relationships. If you want all of that, then I invite you to step into a profound year journey that I'm kicking off, to which I'm opening the doors on the 10th of September. Transform from within and embody extraordinary leader is name of that journey. You have all information about that program, how it's delivered, how it's launched, all of that program on the website. So you can go to the website www.theextraordinaryleadership.com and check out exactly that program that is launching 10th of September. It is a signature program of extraordinary leadership and is leading you to step, first of all, yourself to your next level. And through that, also enable exponential growth in your organization. And the sooner you sign to this program, the more benefits you basically can get on top of that. So check it out. Do not wait until 10th of September, because painting your vision of who you want to become, you can start literally tomorrow, since I'm giving you access to another program that is really profound into creating your vision and connecting with that higher potential of yourself. So thank you very much for listening today. Please comment and share in comments your impressions and what you take away from this episode today. And I invite you to step in and elevate your consciousness and become that positive change maker, first of all, for yourself, for your families, for the organizations that you lead. So thank you for listening today. Remember, be the change that you want to see and choose to be extraordinary.